it's about that time to get back cracking on this Civic. So what I've got to do now is the car is at the point where it's ready to get the transmission removed. So what I'm going to do now, before I take off that motor mount right there, before I take off that transmission mount, I'm going to go ahead and start removing out all the bolts that are holding the transmission in place. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. So this process is going to be more time lapse than anything, just so I can compress the video a little bit more. So you'll see me at whatever angle I find. Starting off up here with the bolts up here, I'm going to have to remove that motor mount that's in the front of the car, because if I don't get that out of the way, it's not gonna let me pull the transmission away from the motor. So what else? You take those bolts out. There's like a few bolts up here. I gotta go underneath afterwards, then take out those bolts down there, and then it should be ready to pull out. Don't forget, gotta take out that little metal plate. I forgot what they call it. It's like a check plate or whatever that's on the bottom of the transmission. It's held up by like 10 millimeters or something like that, I believe. So let's get started. So up top I only found 2 bolts for the transmission. For the motor mount that's right here in the front, there's 3 bolts. It was easier to get from underneath. This is it right here. I put the bolts that hold that up back into the engine, and there's 1 or 2 that connect to the trans, but I screwed them back in. They'll come out with the trans. So now I'm gonna tackle this little plate here that covers the flywheel. Okay, don't use that. Use this. These bolts will get put back in place too once I get them out. get out the way because I don't know how much clutch residue is going to come out of there. Not much of anything. So I believe I bought a new flywheel. Depending on how this one looks, I'll keep this one on here because this one's a lightweight flywheel. Last I checked, it was still able to be spared. The way this one looks, not so confident. I mean, the way the clutch ended up, I'm not so confident that this flywheel might be salvageable. Okay, let's see what size these are. 17-ish. Easier to use the short one on that one. Yep. Okay. See how easy it is for this whole motor to move? Ow! Ow! To be honest, I was expecting much more clutch pieces to come out of that plate. Little dust, light dust speckles. The other ones are 14. Can't have to do this with the hand one because the drill won't fit up there. Well, I'm going to continue this. I will put you guys on a time lapse. Okay, so all the transmission bolts are out. The passenger side axle is out. I'm going to show you here in a second. So now all that's left to remove this transmission is that transmission mount that's up top. Let me show you. So if you're laying down underneath it, you know where the oil filter is. Then there's the center bracket holding the center piece of the axle. What is it called? A cross shaft or something like that? Center shaft. Transmission end. Then in order to remove the complete axle here on the passenger side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts you gotta take out. You got, first of all, you got that a black heat shield that goes over it, which this is one of the bolts right here. Then there's two more bolts for it. I want to say up here, and then like one down here somewhere. And then to remove the complete bracket, you have this bolt here, and once you get that heat shield out of the way, you can reach, oh wait, this bolt here, this bolt here, what the fuck ever. I got the bracket right here. Oh, okay. So you got the one here, one here, one here. It's all this shit here. And then the one over here. There's a right here. Then you got this transmission bolt, this transmission bolt. These are the top two. There's no more up there. And then you keep following it around down to here. That's one. This is one up here. And then you got the shield, the little metal shield here. Keep going around. And you got the one that's right here. Keep following it around. And then you got, what is it? One way up here. That's the one that I believe holds the starter. And then I'm gonna go back up and confirm and make sure there's only one bolt right here holding the starter. Otherwise, there may possibly be one more on top of the starter. But under here, I'm done. So now the next time that we come down here, is to try and put a jack stand or a car jack underneath the transmission, and I'm gonna try to wiggle it from the top and then drop it down. Or actually no, I don't think I'm gonna need the jack stand. I'm just gonna try to wiggle it from the top. So next step is removing that motor mount from the top, and we should be gravy. I'm gonna try and make sure I make a little more room for the transmission to drop, because if you see this steering rack is a little forward where the transmission is, so I just want to make sure I have a clear path so the transmission can drop smoothly. Yeah, that should be it. So now that I got this thing cleaned up and sprayed off for the most part, I'm gonna go around and wire wheel all the rust spots it has, so that way I can go ahead and do a quick little paint on it. So I went ahead and threw a rust reformer on it. One can, one around the whole thing, covering a couple sides more than once. I made sure to try to get the welds a little better than anything else, because that's typically what I saw was rusting up. But I got that the coat of rust reformer on it. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry up, and I'm gonna slap some undercoating on it. I'll slap mostly this side with undercoating, so that way it helps with, you know, water, salt, all that stuff. If I have enough, I'll probably just give another coat to this side too, just for the hell of it, give it the extra protection. So next thing you'll see about this would be on the next video when it's all done and dry, but pretty much the same process: dry, spray, yada yada. So this is the subframe, painted. So that's it for this. Yeah, that's it for the recording of this. So like I said earlier, next thing you're going to see for this, the subframe, is whenever I finish doing the undercoating painting on it. I'm not going to record that because it's just pretty much the same of what I just did. Right now this rust reformer has like a light semi-gloss to it, which looks pretty cool, but once this dries up, I'm going to spray on the undercoating and I'm going to set it aside until I'm done with the car. So, okay, so I'm just going to finish this video off with the subframe being done. I didn't have any undercoating, so I sprayed it with some truck bed coating. Came out pretty good. This is gonna be the final look for this subframe. I put the truck bed coating all the way around, so hopefully it'll help it with whatever falls from it having grease or whatever, or oil. Yeah, got it all the way around, got everything. Looks good, a whole lot better than it did before. So I'm gonna let this sit up till I'm done with putting this back together, and should be dry enough to put back on the car by then. So I'll give it a day or two before it's ready to get put back on and finish this clutch replacement. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay tuned to JTuned. Peace. Why so serious? You gonna fix the car?